Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of the Minecraft Let's Play series. And today we have big plans. Well, not really big plans. Our plans involve a lot of digging. Like I mentioned last episode, we have done 8 of these little layers, and there are going to be 40 in total. So our plan today is to just see how many of these layers we can dig. We have a beacon now with haste 2 on it. I may need to move it around just a little bit as we get further out into the layers, but that's okay. I have no problem moving the beacon around because it makes digging take significantly less time. I think what's going to take the most time is physically placing the blocks for each layer, because once we get to a certain point, there's just a cave and I'm just going to have to place all of those blocks. But that is a bridge we will cross when we come to it. So let's get digging. Let's go! We interrupt this time lapse for one very important reason. I made a mistake. Okay, now what was the mistake I made? So, bedrock starts spawning at around y negative 59. When I was planning this base, I thought it didn't start spawning until y negative 60. So this entire base actually needs to go up by 5. Now, I could completely destroy it or dig a new hole in, one for every ring around the circle, but instead I'm going to do something much simpler for my sanity. I'm just going to go in by 1 around this entire circle and build that up by 5. That just seems much simpler. So why don't we knock that out of the way right now? But before we do that, I just wanted to give y'all a little progress update. I've started working in little sections just to make my life a little bit easier. And I think this section right here, I think is about 15 deep, maybe more. Majority of the section over here is 13 deep, and then the little hanging floating parts like here and over here are all 11 deep. It will all be evened out before the end of this episode so that I have my complete little layers, but I think it's time to go ahead and add that one more layer we're currently missing at the top. Let's go! And we are back from that little side quest. I also decided to widen our paths a little just because the happy ghast kept trying to push me off and I am tired of dying to that. Now, what do y'all say we keep digging down and just see how many more layers we can get? Let's go! Hello, everyone. Just a quick little progress update. So, for majority of the area, we're currently 15 layers deep. You can see I still have to put up the walls for over here and a little bit of over here. Then, if you look all the way down there, right down there is our goal for this episode. That is going to be 20 layers deep, so that is our halfway point. Hopefully, I can get the last 5 layers done, plus adding those little walls. Let's get back to it. Let's go! Welcome back, everyone. That was an incredibly long time lapse. While that may have only took about 10 minutes for y'all, I think I spent over 12 hours digging, and that's not counting the time it took for me to constantly mend my pickaxe. As you can also see, we did accidentally lose one of our little ghast guys. While I was trying to build some of the walls down here, a skeleton shot me a few times, and as I was trying to get away, they shot our little ghast guy, and we lost one. I do still have that spare. I think I'm going to save it just until this one, who hopefully will live a very long and happy life. But just in case this one follows its little friend, we have already dug down to the 20th layer, which means we are halfway done layer wise. Of course, with every layer we dig, the area we have to dig does get slightly bigger, so we're not even technically halfway if we count it like that. And I don't know if you noticed, but it is kind of looking less like a circle the more we go down. If we look up, that's a circle, but if we were to look down from there, it would look a little bit more like an octagon. And that's just because instead of adding more flat walls, I've just been continuing it out on the ones, and so you can see all of the corner ones expand. And that's why it's starting to look a little bit more like an octagon from that top view. But the octagon shape is kind of what we end up wanting down here because it follows what real volcanoes would look like. It probably, oh, I accidentally did too much. It follows what real volcanoes would look like. Most volcanoes don't just stay all circular, they get all octagon-y and stuff. So it's fine that it's no longer a perfect little circle down here. I'm not too concerned. We do have a couple more things I wanted to do in this video. So for our eventual plan down here, we need a load of glass, a lot of red and orange dye, and we also need a lot of lava. So I want to go ahead and set up a little lava farm. It's just going to be a manual one where we have all of the lava flowing through the dripstone. We should have plenty of dripstone and the drip blocks, so that's not a concern. So why don't we go ahead and get started on that? Let's go! And that was a pretty quick task. I just have 64 of these cauldrons, and as they fill up, I'll collect all of the lava and put it in a chest to save for later. As I said earlier, this is all for a future project once the volcano is completely dug out. I'm just going to go ahead and get a kick start on all of the materials I need so I don't lag behind when we are ready to do that project. Now I'm going to work on getting a few more villagers in my little villager trading farm and probably adding another little layer. I did have 3 villagers here, but something seems to have killed them. I don't know how. They should be pretty protected, and there's plenty of light in this area. But on this top row, I do have villagers all the way up until here. I'm going to fill this up the rest of the way, probably with more little librarian guys, and I think with more of I'll have to figure out what I do for the rest of these guys. I need the librarian ones because they will eventually give me glass, but not all of them will give me glass, so it's kind of a little bit of a hassle. So you can see this one won't give me glass, but I guess it's just something I'll have to work on. So let's get started on that. Okay, everyone, I believe that's going to be it for today's episode. We have completed so much, even though it doesn't really seem like it. The very first thing we did today was dig another 12 layers to our little which puts us officially at 20 and our little halfway point, which I am so excited at. As you can kind of see, like I was talking about earlier in the video, it does kind of look like an octagon at the bottom instead of a circle, but that's perfectly okay because we're just shaping the volcano. We're going to go in with some more fine details later after it's completely dug out and this area is completely dug out. So it's okay if it's looking a little bit wonky. The next couple of things we did was we added a little spot for me to farm lava. Let's see if, okay, there, you can see it over there. We added a little lava farm for me for a future project in the video, and we also expanded our villager trading hall a little bit also for future me because we are going to need a ton of glass. But I think that is everything we completed in this video. I've been trying to experiment with different editing styles, so please feel free to leave a comment and let me know what you like, what you don't like. Anything is helpful, and I will see y'all in the next one. Goodbye!